Welcome back. And for those of you that are just tuning in, welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. Oh boy, do I have a lot to talk about. This weekend has been filled with some good action from boxing, from college football, even in the NFL. And as a 49er fan, I'm still getting my breath back. But guess what? I got some good news for you. I'll be bringing it all to you. So stay tuned to Don't Shoot the Messenger. Welcome to another edition of the weekly edition and weekly wrap up of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy Professional Sutton, and today, sorry, woo, I'm still choked up for a Niners game, man. Jeez. And today I got my boy, my brother Chris G on the line with us. What's going on, man?
Yo, what up? What up? Crack, crack.
So again, great game by Niners, but that's not why I'm here. That's not why I'm here right now. Uh, the fight that happened last night that we damn near missed because we thought that it was going to be closer to 5, but we jumped in at round 7. Watching it, and I'm sure you went back and critiqued the fight, man. What do you
hmm
think about Anthony Joshua at this point?
Well, I mean, look, Anthony Joshua showed a major weakness. I think in the first Ruiz fight, uh, he underestimated an opponent, and I don't think it's one of the things I think I always and other people always give Floyd Mayweather credit for. Floyd never underestimated an opponent.
True.
Even if he was supposed to wax him and he was nowhere near as good or as talented as him, he always came in 100% prepared. And Joshua wasn't prepared the first fight. And, that's a weakness. If it happened once, it can happen again. So, that's definitely a knock on him. But in this fight, he did what he needed to do. Listen, Ruiz only had a shot against him if they mixed it up and traded punches.
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony Joshua refused to do that.
Mm.
He maintained distance. He controlled him with the jab, and it he did. It was a boring fight. It wasn't anything really spectacular happening. He played it safe, and I understand why he was tight. His career was on the line if he would have took an L in that fight.
Yeah.
And he put his head down and he took care of business. And you got to give credit at least for that.
Now, seeing what you saw, and knowing how the heavyweight division is, we talk about it a lot on the show. And we talk about it also just in general. Who do you think, or who do you feel his next opponent should be? Anthony Joshua, I'm talking about.
Well, you know, he should probably fight. I don't want to say a tune-up fight, but he should definitely fight somebody where he should be an overwhelming favorite for a couple reasons. Because you don't want to put him in there with somebody dangerous,
Mm-hmm.
being so closely removed from a TKO stoppage where he was rocked several times in the fight earlier this year when he fought Andy Ruiz. Also, you want to see if he's still disciplined to go, all right, this is a fight that I'm supposed to win. I'm supposed to win easily. Let me focus and not underestimate this opponent and give 100% effort. You just want to make sure he's on top of his game before you put him in there with the likes of a Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder or a Luis Ortiz.
Now, speaking of that, and I know we talked about this earlier, and you were saying that people don't want to see the Wilder and Anthony Joshua fight. Now, with what we saw yesterday and like what you're saying, if he get a tune-up fight, not tune-up, but really when he getting more disciplined and sound, he get that fight, he win. Do you think we will see a Wilder and Joshua fight?
Well, it's the fight that everybody wants. It lost a little bit of luster when he lost to Andy Ruiz, but I would say it's still the number one fight that you can make in the heavyweight division as of this moment. I think honestly, I think the fight would would end. I don't know when the fight would end, but it would be a Wilder knockout. I can tell you
Mm,
that.
So you
I can tell,
saying
I
so?
don't think Joshua has the skill set to do things like Tyson Fury does, and I don't think he got the chin to withstand a good punch like Tyson Fury does. Seeing what I saw when he fought Andy Ruiz, so yeah, I don't think it would be a competitive fight. I think it would kind of go like most Wilder fights. Wilder looks like he's losing, and he is losing, and then he catches him, and then it's over.
Mm. Wow, that's a strong statement. Now, where boxing is, and we got people that's listening, and again, boxing is one of those sports right now where it's not, as you would say, aesthetically pleasing to the non-boxing watching fans. What fight would you like to see, or what fighter, would you put on notice for people to kind of watch right now, or fighters, I should say?
Fighters for notice. I
Yeah.
mean, for me, I mean, there's a lot of fighters that are pretty. No, there's no like prospects that I'm thinking about at the moment, but there are some young fighters that are finally starting to get that are starting to make a little more waves or just won their first belt. I'm a real big fan of Shakur Stevenson.
Mm.
I like him. He's got a great system behind him with him and Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward, all in his camp. All people that take care of him and show him the ropes. So I think that's a really good young fighter up and coming. I've been a fan of Devin Haney, but he's nothing new. Um, Honestly, that's it. Really,
Okay.
honestly, I
Okay.
mean those are some of the youngest fighters right now. But other than them, everybody else has been around for a while. Some of them haven't necessarily gotten their shots yet, but they're not like fresh, new, young fighters. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I know a lot of people like Ryan Garcia. I, I'm not a fan, but he's Golden Boy is prepping him to be the takeover. So we'll see how he makes it. But there's a lot of, unlike Canelo, there's a lot of killers in Ryan Garcia's weight class. So
Mm.
we'll see what happens with him.
Now, speaking of taking over, the college football uh, playoffs selection came out today, and they have your Ohio State at 2, LSU at 1, Clemson at 3, and Oklahoma at 4. Uh,
Hmm.
with what you're seeing right now, LSU playing Oklahoma, do you think it'll be a blowout, or do you feel it's going to be a competitive game?
Well, I don't know about a blowout, but I don't necessarily know that it'll be competitive either.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the thing is, LSU's defense, which is getting better, don't get me wrong, they they're spotty, and Oklahoma can score against anybody. Their
Mm-hmm.
offense is good enough to at least do that. Their defense though is so trash that even if it's let's say let's say it's a 90 total points in this game, they might lose by 14, which I wouldn't necessarily deem a blowout or something like that.
Right, right. No, of course
But
not.
it's not. But if you lose by 14 and you were never closer than 14, other than when it was 14 donut, it wasn't really close or competitive either. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So and I see the game going something like that. I could see it like 48, you know, 48-29 or 48-27 or 48 or 52-31. You know what I mean? Something like that. So something like that. I just don't think they got the defense to compete with LSU.
You
But the
know what?
game,
I
yeah,
I would, and as much as I hate to say it, I can see Oklahoma getting a freaking unbelievable underdog win. And here's why. Because like you said, they can jump out so fast on you. They can jump out so fast on you. And I think that for them, momentum, and it just has been on their side. And don't get me wrong, LSU, they played a great game when they played Florida, Alabama, so they know how to come with it too. But I just feel that, you know, I'm going for LSU, but I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma pull it out. You know what I mean? But I really wanted.
yeah, you should be surprised if they pull it out.
Uh,
I'm gonna
well,
tell, I'm
I,
gonna tell you that right now. You should be surprised if Oklahoma somehow can beat LSU.
I
There's levels, man, and
I agree.
Oklahoma ain't on that level.
Well,
There's a
listen,
level,
I
and
mean,
that's where Ohio State, Clemson, and LSU are. Oklahoma is like a couple levels below that.
well, I
I got to be
really,
honest.
I really wanted Ohio State to play Oklahoma because I know that they was going to do justice and whoop them straight off the rip.
Yeah,
I think LSU is going to beat them, but I wanted Ohio State to really smack them around. That's my opinion.
yeah. I mean, I think Ohio State would have smashed Oklahoma. I just think they got a better defense. I think they would have kept them. They would have kept them down more,
Yeah.
and it probably would have been an uglier outcome. But I mean, I think the outcome is still going to be the same, and that outcome is um, Oklahoma losing.
Okay.
So
Now, because I know that you're in the store shopping, because you're the man of of all men.
oh
Uh,
man, you know what, man? I appreciate that. And
I'm just saying,
that's a great compliment.
I'll say it, man. Not
Didn't
too
need to
many
be
people do
said.
that.
Not didn't need to be said, but I'm glad you said it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I mean, people need to hear this. Now, moving forward, Ohio State, Clemson, the game that I thought would have been in the national championship, but we got it early. What do you see for this game? What do you see for your Buckeyes, man? And how do you stop a Clemson team that's really the hungry underdogs in this one? They're
Well,
really hungry.
actually, they're the favorite. Just I want to put that out there. They
Uh
are the favorite.
I know they're favorite, but I just don't think people. I think that when you look at week after week, you people haven't been talking about them.
Now that's true, but I'm just saying, opening line got them as a 2 point favorite.
I mean, 2 points in college football means diddly squat. I mean, it's just college. If this was NFL, that's different. Oh, Tom Brady just took a sack. I think. That
Oh, they
means
still
nothing.
getting smashed? Because last time I seen it was getting smashed. They still getting smashed?
20-7,
Ooh,
Patriots.
man. I love it.
You
Go
know.
ahead, though.
All right, come on. So what is the key to Ohio State beating a really hungry again? And I'm gonna use an underdog Clemson team.
Well, look, I think I'm not going to refer to them as underdogs, but okay. I will say this, though.
Media wise, because I
Yeah,
don't media haven't been giving them that respect since day one. It's been
right,
Alabama, and everybody else.
right. I agree. But Ohio State know what the real is, okay?
Uh huh.
Clemson, to me, the only other complete team in college football is Clemson.
I agree.
The only other team that's got a top five offense and a top five defense, Clemson. Okay,
Mm.
so this is going to be. Let me tell you something. Big boy pants going to need to be on for this game, and I'm not going to lie. Buck going to be a little tight during that game. I ain't gonna front with you. I wasn't scared of playing him, but
No,
I wanted to wait to play him until we got
I
to
agree.
the championship, because you don't want to blow your load in the first round.
Yeah,
And I'm telling you, we gonna have to, all our tricks, everything's got to come out for this matchup. Like we can't hold nothing back. So LSU, who's gonna have a cakewalk, pretty much, they're gonna be able to sit back, not show all their stuff, and then see us basically go all out to win. And I'm not happy about that. But we got to do what we got to play who's in front of us. So we just got to take care of business. It's gonna be a tough one though. This is gonna be the best game of the college football era, I think.
I would have to agree. That's why I wish they would have put you guys number one and left everything where it needs to be. But I understand. Now, how I look at it is, man, I feel again, and this is no knock on Clemson, but you guys have been playing some top team. You guys had to really come from behind, and I think that when you play a Clemson, which Alabama fell victim to, which is why Clemson was able to, I think annihilate them last year in the championship. When you don't play too much talent, when talent is against you,
Yep.
it's like, oh shoot. Now I'm not
Yep.
saying they're not going to step up to the challenge, not. But for so long, we seen Alabama come with it. They just blow teams out, then they go to a team like Clemson, and Clemson was battle tested, and it's like boom. This year, Clemson is in the opposite of what they usually are, and they're not battle tested like you guys are. Penn State, Wisconsin, um, even early Michigan, and I think that you guys play in a better conference than they do. Now, again, that doesn't mean squad if you're a good team. But I feel this year you guys are a little more prepared for a team like this.
I would agree. I think what people tend to forget is for the past 3 weeks, we did three heavyweight matchups back to
Yes.
back to back.
Yes.
We had to play Penn State, we had to play Michigan, and then we had to play obviously Wisconsin again after we had already beat them. So
Mhm.
they were definitely ready to take it to us.
And they took it. They took it to you guys until again the championship pedigree was like, nah, let's just finish this. Let's finish this. You know.
Yeah, I mean it came through. It took a little minute, but it came through, and I'm happy that it did. Took a little longer than I would have liked, but we still got the dub, and that's what matters.
Now, what bowl game are you? Do you kind of want to see? I mean, we got the cereal bowl. We got the candy dish bowl. We got every bowl that we need to have. Is there a bowl in particular that you like? Yo, I really want to see that right there.
Oh man.
Do you know the bowls? Because I can read
Yes, I
some.
do.
Okay.
I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only two bowls I really want to see is the two for the college football championship, yo. I
Right.
can't lie to you. I mean, listen, Oregon, Wisconsin doesn't intrigue me.
Right.
Um, Georgia, Baylor
And
doesn't intrigue me. None of these, none of these matches intrigue me
right.
because it's kind of like this year. I think for the first time in a while,
I already know what you're
there's
gonna
like
say. I agree with
there's
you. Go
not
ahead.
like there's like not nobody that got robbed got to be in it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Right. I agree.
this was it. This is the best four teams. I could care less about everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, obviously I want to see LSU and I want to see Oklahoma. And I mean, I think there's no question how I feel about Ohio State and Clemson. So
Mm-hmm.
especially if it could just shut Rex Ryan up, because Rex Ryan for some reason thinks that nobody can compete with Clemson and that Clemson is going boat races. So I really am really hoping that we could come in and smack Clemson and just put the spotlight right on them and be like, hey, what's all that stuff you was talking?
I would have to agree with you on that one. I would have to agree with you on that one. And there, I mean, even I'm looking, and we play Virginia. I'm like, okay, whoop de doo. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what other games do I really want to watch? Like you said, there's none. This Clemson and Ohio State game, which I thought would have been a national championship game, okay, it wasn't. But man, it is going to be.
But you know
They
what?
finally got the playoffs right.
It's gonna have that level of intensity though. Like it is a
Oh
national
yeah.
championship game. I think for the first time in a while, we're gonna get two national championship game quality games. So
Yep.
we're gonna get Clemson, Ohio State, and then whoever wins that is gonna play LSU, and that's gonna be a good game regardless, no matter who comes out of there. So I, I think we're gonna get two really really good games back to back.
Oh, last time I saw this was going back to the first college playoff game when you guys had to play Alabama.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I mean,
Ah,
and then you guys went on to play. I forgot who you guys play. Who you guys?
Oregon,
Oh,
Oregon.
Oregon. Exactly. It ain't even matter. Uh, and it was like boom. I mean, that's just how I feel. It's just that excitement again, like you said. Finally, we have a good playoff this year, and we don't have to kind of finesse it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, here go Alabama
Hmm.
again. Oh my gosh, like it's actually a good playoff right here, man. And I had to get your take on this, man. I had to get your take on this, man. And I
Oh
wanted
man,
to see, what you had to say. And I'm gonna get Ruck on the line in a little bit, but man, it
well,
was.
I just say, you and Ruck last night definitely, was ready to jump on me if Ohio State would have wobbled last night. Y'all
No,
was
I
y'all was
wouldn't
ready to
have.
go.
No.
Y'all
Listen,
wouldn't have.
no,
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't have, cause I mean, I don't have a problem with Florida State or Ohio State. I mean, if you was Alabama fan or if you was like I don't know Oklahoma
Listen,
fan, that'd be a little different. I'd be
I,
like,
I felt the hate ready to pour it down. That's all I'm gonna say.
nah,
I
Ruck was
felt it ready.
nah. You didn't. killed me last week like Ruck was trying to kill me last week. When we lost by 3 points to a really good Ravens team. You know what I mean?
He
So
did. He
yeah,
did kill you.
yeah. I mean, that's all right though. But he ain't saying nothing down though. He ain't saying nothing down though.
I
Yeah.
mean, I tell you, they kind of struggled with Washington, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah. 20-15. I'm just saying.
I mean, they got a late score, but Dwayne Haskins got hurt early, and that offensive line wasn't protecting him at all. But when he got some time, I don't know, man.
Listen,
I don't
if
know, man.
if you are the Washington Redskins, you are very happy with the way you played a great Green Bay Packers team. That is good, especially leading to next year. The season's over for them, but that's how you got it, man. Hold on, let me get Ruck in here, man. Let me get Ruck in here. Hold on one second. Hold on. Yo,
Yo,
what's good, man?
Oh,
what's up?
real players in the building.
So I
Real
got
players in the building.
Chris on the line, shooting a podcast, and I know Chris, he's at Walmart, but I wanted to transition and talk to you real quick. But Chris, man, some parting words, man, before you hang up.
Um. Uh. Oh wait.
Okay, all right, man. There you go.
I see y'all later.
All
Peace.
right, man. Peace. So on the line, man, we got none other than my man, the Rucker Report. What's going on, man?
What's up, man?
Hold on, let me turn my phone up, man. You sound like you hiding somewhere, man. There we go.
Nah.
Okay, all right. I'm just saying. So Chris and we were talking about boxing, we were talking about college football, but I want you to chime in because I want to talk about the NFL. Now, I'm just catching my breath. And it was a crazy one. If you don't know, the 49ers went toe to toe, nail biter to New Orleans Saints, and I'm still breathing.
Definitely.
It was a tough one. Now you did point out, and I seen it too, that Drew Brees was grabbing his bicep. Do you think? Have you heard anything else that is something other than what it is?
I don't know. It looked really funny.
Okay.
But he did that before the throw to Smith and the touchdown play to Michael Thomas.
Mm.
So don't know, but if it is something down the line for them, that could be major.
Now, I would say, I don't know if it's because Drew Brees is this good, or I should be worried about my secondary because he was carving us apart. He was really, I mean, he was just, we didn't even sack him this game. What do you see moving forward for both these teams, for the 49ers and for the Saints, man?
I mean, for the 49ers, I think, again, this was a good game for them to figure out if they are battle tested.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have proven that they can win ugly. Again, they had steady play from Jimmy, and they had big plays from their big playmakers. I mean, I think that's why they went and made the trade for Emmanuel Sanders. That's why George Kittle is the man, the grown man that he is. And the defense, I think, again, the front seven is good. The back end is where I will always have questions for the 49ers.
I agree.
Because there are going to be teams that have really, really solid wide receiver cores that they can't just focus all their attention on one person.
What team would that be?
I just think, and I'm not talking about a wide receiver core that has two number ones that are great players, but I think a wide receiver core that has a solid number one, a solid number two, or just a solid number one and a solid tight end.
Mm-hmm.
So a team like the Chiefs that has a lot of team speed could present a problem. And as you see what they're doing to the Patriots now, they take advantage of that team speed with a special quarterback.
True.
For the Saints, I think my concern with the Saints right now, besides the Drew Brees thing, is what's going on with Alvin Kamara.
Mm.
He must be really, really hurt because not only did he not have a big impact on the game, but he had some uncharacteristic plays during the game. Like, he does not fumble. And for him to fumble the ball, for him to get, tackled in the backfield a couple of times for a loss by a D tackle, that's something is different there. But we'll see, man. I think it was a good game. I know a lot of people were talking about the pass interference call on the fake, but again, that's something that you're not going to get. So,
yeah.
Take the rest out of it. It was a great game.
Right.
Like she said, both teams played hard. And I think, again, we're going to get a good NFC race down to the wire for that number one spot.
Yeah, listen, it was one of those games. If you're watching and you don't have a team in this, you really enjoyed watching this because this is what the NFL wants. The NFL wants a high scoring game. The NFL wants what we just saw. And I think, like us, the Saints, they have some issues at corner and secondary as well, because there was
they got a lot. I mean, but everybody knows that because
right.
The 49ers game plan was really simple. Come out, test Eli Apple, and if he doesn't respond, pick on him. And that's what they did. But again, I think what is a big part of the 49ers offense can also maybe get them in trouble because a lot of those trick plays really expose certain things. Mm-hmm. So I think that's something that they may want to watch.
Well, I think that for the trick plays, I think that we were doing it because it was like, yo, we need this right now. But our bread and butter is our running game. That was our that was our running game. And for you to see that we were passing, no one predicted that we were going to come out in 4 plays, just boom, 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 boom. Everybody just knew after the run, after the dominant running we had by Mostert, we was like, yo, he's going to run the ball. But again, like you said, they focused on it. And I think that Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan did a great job of really taking that and saying, this is how we're going to run it. And I was pleasantly happy.
Listen, the 49ers have an offense that it's something that's predictable, but it's something that you also have to respect. Right. And because you guys run the ball so well, that's what sets up all that play action passing. That's what gets Kittle open. That's what sets up a lot of these crossing routes. And that's great talent and great coaching. So they're going to do exactly what they need to do. And I think they did that in this game. I think they showed that they can, if needed, they can score with somebody. And I think it was just going to come down to somebody making the stop.
Yeah. Whoever, like Mike Strahan said, he said, whoever get the ball last, that's who's going to win. And thank God we were able to get the ball last. Thank God Robbie Gould made a kick this year. That counted.
Yeah, listen, I mean, you could almost see that it was going to be exactly what it turned out to be because you would expect nothing less than what Drew Brees did, to get a touchdown. I mean, y'all almost caught a good interception on that Michael Thomas fall.
Yeah, Witherspoon, man.
But again, it was a great game. Like, you couldn't ask for anything more for a 1:00 game. That was a great game.
Well, I just would like to have 1 by 10, and we was able to run the ball, run the clock out, and not lose my breath. I'm just saying. But overall, like you said, it was a great game. I just wanted to shut everybody up because I know if we would have lost, you'd have been the first one to have been texting me, oh, look at this, look at that. And I ain't hear from you this week, wondering why.
Nah, I was actually getting my keys ready because I just knew. I said, there's no way that they're gonna let them get to the 35 with 23 seconds, and then George Kittle. I mean,
beast mode.
It's almost not fair. I mean, the dude he's 6'4", he's 250 pounds, and the guy that they had playing him is 6'1", 210.
but also that it was a lot of missed tackles in this game, and that missed tackle when it was 4th and 2,
Yeah.
and he just ran
Yeah.
for 30 something yards, and we got help because
And
it
the
was the
face
face
mask.
mask. So that man,
And the
listen,
face mask.
listen. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Now,
He clearly did.
speaking of doing it, the Redskins versus your Packers. Now I
Uh-huh.
know how very harsh you've been on your Packers all year. Is there some concerns right now because they got just a 20-15 win over this Redskin team, or is it more so of you know, we play when we need to play? Like, what's your analysis on
No, my concern is how it's been the entire year. It's the coach.
it? Mm,
It is absolutely the coach.
okay.
And we should not be playing a team that close that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it we come out in the first quarter, and I think this is what you've seen from the Packers all year. You come out in the first quarter and you get big splash plays. We were up 14-0 at one point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, 14-6. So there's no way that in a 14-6 game, the rest of your plays are field goals.
True.
There's no adjustment. You know, and again, another big game by Aaron Jones, but I think he focuses so much on the run that it's taking the best weapon in the league away. Because even though Aaron has the ability to audible and stuff like that, the game plan is just not what he's used to running. The game plan does not utilize the rest of the weapons that we have. And again, like all of these Sean McVay products, everybody catches on to what they're doing at some point.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now, speaking of catching on, and I know you with the fam, and I'll keep you for another 5 minutes, but I had to get this in the bottle because it has been a great weekend, especially in the NFL. Now, I know everybody was very critical of Cam. The Panthers need to get rid of him, but after the 40-20 shellacking by the Falcons, do we keep Cam in Carolina?
No, they still gonna get rid of Cam.
Okay.
They still gonna get rid of Cam. I think that they, for whatever reason, Carolina believes in Kyle Allen, which is fine. You know, that happens in the league. But they're gonna get rid of Cam. They're going to. Again, we talked about this on the show before. There are certain people that they're going to waste certain years of their career.
Right.
So now Christian McCaffrey becomes in that bunch. Because now you're talking about with Kyle Allen, with the way that they play, listen, it's going to be 10 men in the box, and now Christian is going to have to deal with that for the next 2-3 years until this guy gets it right. So the Cam era in Carolina is over, and he should find another team next year and be okay. So I think that's all right. But one of the things I did want to say is, shout out to Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens for flexing on your dear color analyst by wearing the white sleeves today with the white uniform, so he don't get the the ball confused with anything else.
Wait, two things.
Shout out to Lamar.
Two things.
Free Kodak Black.
Two things. First of all, that guy's an idiot. Okay. Two, I think that he was allowed to make those statements because, like you said, he's a colored commentator. So, he was making color statements.
Listen,
I'm just joking.
You can't tell me that was a great.
I love it.
Great response by Lamar.
I loved every bit of it. I love every bit of it. I love every bit of it.
Did they put on the white sleeves and the white shoes?
Good. I love it.
Yeah, Lamar.
That's what I'm talking about. That's not mine. He just happened to commentate for the team that I love so much. So that's not my boy.
Hey, and I think one thing that people really, really got to take notice of is, as much as people are clamoring that the 49ers are real, you better start clamoring that the Baltimore Ravens are real too.
I think people been saw that after last week.
Because they just went to Buffalo and gave them every bit of what they needed.
Yep.
And not a stellar game by Lamar, but you see that he can be stellar and he can be effective and manage a game. And I think that's dangerous for the rest of the league because the boy is clearly settling into that position and what it takes to be an elite quarterback. So that's dope. And I think it's only going to get better, man. It's only going to get better. The playoffs are going to be great. And seeing what's going on in New England right now, whew,
I know.
boy.
But then you have the Texans doing what the Texans tend to do. They'll win a great game, and then boom, it's like, what is going on? So.
But here's the thing about the Texans, though, right? Along with coaching stuff, right? The Texans don't have the talent that everybody thinks that they have. Like outside of Deshaun Watson and Nuke, where's the other talent pool at?
True.
Where's it at? JJ's hurt. Will Fuller is not a number one receiver in the league, right?
And he is hurt.
Kenny Stills is not a number one receiver in the league, right? So where's the other talent pool? So this is what the Texans can do, but this is also what makes them a very tough out because you can't just key on Hopkins. Somebody else can and usually will hurt you. And Deshaun Watson is an up-and-coming elite-level quarterback.
It is, I don't know, every week, man, it's like you want to root for the Houston Texans, and then they just find a way sometimes to just do stuff like this. But I don't know, man. Hopefully they can get it right. Now, one game, one team, which is just crazy, man. It's like it's the best, worst shit show you can watch, but they just find a way. And that's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man. That's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And and Mike Evans, he went out early with the hamstring, but it's like they scrappy.
I think Jameis throws interceptions on purpose.
You think so?
Just to try to come back and look like he's real nice.
I be doing that on Madden too. I be doing the same thing on Madden.
Like, yo, man, I don't get it. I don't get it with Jameis. But again, he came through in the clutch and made plays that he can make. But the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to be what they are, and that's the bottom of the NFC South. And it's not really going to pan out to be anything. Bruce Arians in the first year is doing what he needs to do with that talent pool. But I think I could see some changes, and unfortunately, I think Jameis is going to be one of them. This was his chance. You can't have 2 touchdowns and 3 interceptions and think that you're still going to be a starter.
Well, he had 4 touchdowns. But I agree with you
4 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
But still, though, that touchdown.
Your touchdown to interception ratio is horrible.
Horrible. What is it like? What is it like 40 for 40? I don't know, something crazy. Because he's leading the NFL in touchdown passes, but he's also leading the NFL in interceptions. So if this was baseball, he'll be on par with Mr. 40-40. He'll be MVP right now. But unfortunately, this is the NFL and not baseball. So Jameson, man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
The crab legs.
Man, listen, he haven't been right since then. So Chris and I, we talking about college football.
That's what I wanted to get to. So everybody just going to let them protect LSU like that? Wow.
Wow. Listen, I don't disagree with it. I really don't, because again, you have to look at who they beat. They blew out a number 4 Georgia team. So by standards,
but you want to protect them like that and let them get. Come on, man. That's almost like the committee just gave them a layup, for real.
That could be it.
Oklahoma, they before you say something now, Oklahoma. Come on, fam. You know what it is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like they just literally gave them a layup and said, "All right, this is what we're gonna do.
But
Like what?
now, I again layup, whatever you call it, free throw. You have to remember their schedule. They beat Florida, Alabama, Georgia, Texas. They beat some good teams. They beat some pretty good teams. So I don't think the number one or two. I don't have an issue with that. Because I feel whoever Oklahoma would have played, they would have lost to. I think that if they play Ohio State, they would have got smoked by Ohio State. I think that LSU is going to beat them, but the game that's really going to be like Chris said, you gotta put your big boy pants on. Is that Clemson and
In
Ohio State
Ohio
game?
State games.
But
That like
I feel that Ohio
that's
State
gonna
has
be
the
the
edge
game to
though.
watch.
I just
That's
feel that
that's
Ohio
the
State
championship game.
right,
You
but
see,
I think that Ohio State has the edge. Here's why, and I'm gonna use what you usually say, and I'm probably saying it wrong. You fall victim to your own success, and you fall victim
fact,
to your own medicine because you got to remember
facts.
all those years when Alabama wasn't playing nobody, so to speak. Clemson would they were as well prepared because they would have to play tough teams. They would go out of conference. They can't go out of conference too much, but they were playing those tough games that prepared them. Like Ohio State when they play Penn State, Michigan, Wisconsin. You know what I mean? They play in a better conference. Now this year, Clemson has been steamrolling through people. Now part of that is they are like, you're going to show us some respect. That could be that, or could it be that the competition wasn't really there? So
Yeah, I mean, but the other thing that I like for Clemson at this point is that now you kind of get to prove what you've been trying to tell people
yep,
that
all
you're
year,
that good.
yep, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So I mean, that to me is going to be the championship game. That's what's going to determine everything,
mm-hmm.
and and I can't wait. Like Bart Scott voice, I can't wait. But there was one other thing that I did want to talk about,
Go ahead,
especially
please.
on the topic of football.
Go ahead.
So, unfortunately, I've had some Facebook friends hit me up on my page and send this whole thing about, like, you should sign this petition to keep
Okay.
Michael Vick out of. So clearly, y'all don't know me. Clearly, y'all don't know that this is fastly approaching the season of Black History, fastly staying in the year of Wakanda. And if you think I'm going to sign something against Michael Vick when y'all been doing this stuff to animals for years,
Still do.
and now you want to play like, nah, man, it's not happening. Salute to Michael Vick. He should be the coach. He should be associated with the Pro Bowl. That man has done his time and paid his dues, and that should be it. Period.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you 1,000%. And we talked about this, and I know where you stand, and you my brother, so I stand with you. And it's just again, it's another notch of being black. And no matter what you do, you can't do anything right. Because we have people,
Yep.
like you said, that killed people. We have people that committed assaults and they were still allowed to keep their job, Josh Brown. But, when you
Mm.
have someone like Michael Vick who did this, over 13 years ago, 12, let's say 12, he paid his penance, came back in the leagues, won comeback player of the year, got a job as an analyst. Mind you, he's on TV as an analyst now. You know what I mean? And people
And he's on Fox Sports
right.
most of the time.
People
Ain't that a coinky dink?
crazy Fox out of all places. So, but people need to listen to Godfrey. Godfrey was on Vlad TV, and he said something that was so poignant, right? He said it's funny. He said a lot of these races they hate black people, but they love to watch black sports. For example, they always say, nigger this, nigger that. But then their daughter end up marrying a black guy. And they say, how can this happen? Well, every Saturday and Sunday, you are on a black guy's jock. You are rooting for him to win harder than anything. You want him to win. You don't care about issues unless it's involving your players on the field. But as soon as it's off the field, it's like, oh, I don't have nothing to do with that. But like you said, I hope he gets it. He needs to get it. He paid his time. He paid his penance. He's been doing
Mm-hmm.
so much work. But again, how many hunters do we know that are in the NFL? How many do we know, from owners to GMs to everything? But when it's a black person, it's a whole lot different. And that's why our show's called Don't Shoot the Messenger, because you know what? We're gonna tell like it is. If you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at the facts. And I agree with you. I'm voting for his ass because he needs to be a coach. You know? So,
Absolutely.
so that's how I feel, man. So, but I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you, man. And I know it was last minute, but I said, yo, I I have to record something. I can't let this go because this is some good stuff right here, man. This is some good stuff. So,
No problem, good brother.
but listen, man, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. And since you're gonna sign off, I'm gonna sign off. I'm your boy Professional Sutton.
Miss your boy the Ruck Report. Jersey.
Peace.